purpose of these videos is to really document our own journey as we try and transform our property using permaculture principles. We're learning everything as we go from scratch pretty much.
So welcome to our veggie garden. It certainly didn't look like this in 2016. The fence actually came to about here actually. To there. But basically everything you see from me that way was empty field.
All of this will basically be veggies and perennials and all of that, all in this area, and we're very much looking forward to it.
The first major thing we did in this area was put in a fence. So once we had the fence put up, the next thing we did was put some fruit trees along the fence line. So across the west side we did citrus trees, and on the east side we did all stone fruit and apples. So the next thing we did was put in these compost bays. Started with 3 bays, then added a 4th at the end there, and then I think maybe 6 months ago added this 5th, which is actually like the first. This is where we start the compost and we move it through this through the bays. But I'll do a more comprehensive video on the compost system in a separate video. Feel free to give me like smile directions and stuff like that.
At the moment, this tank here and that tank over there is our only water harvesting tanks. We certainly want to extend that as much as we can.
The next thing we did was there was a silver tank here that held about 1,500 litres that would capture the rain off a part of the house and off the carport. Once that was full, it would actually just overflow to this area of our garden, basically outside of the old fence. And so we moved this silver tank to the west side of our house, and then we put this 22,500 litre tank here to capture all of that rain. Now when this tank is full at the moment, it overflows out the front here and into stormwater.
I've got a ground cover growing up the tank on some chicken wire. It's called creeping boobiella or myoporum.
This water used to just go down the spout and out into the nature strip. So now we're capturing all that water. And we also had a gutter put in on this patio area here that used to just run off onto the ground here. So we'll also capture the water from the patio.
Hello, Rosemary.
Green tank here, we've actually moved that to the far end of the veggie garden. What we'll do is move some of the water from this large tank up to the far end of the property and store it in that green tank, so we've got access to water up there, and it just increases our capacity by about another 1,000 litres.
I thought you were going to give it a hug.
This holds, I think, about 1,000 litres. What I'll do is I'll level this out and we'll put this on top.
We've tried growing comfrey in one of our raised beds, but haven't had much success. I think it just gets too hot. The leaves just dry up. So I've actually started moving our comfrey to the food forest along a north fence, so that it's got south-facing shade, just to see if they'll do a little better there.
What we found after a couple of years is that this fence would put out quite a lot of radiant heat, especially when the sun is in the west, and we found that our fruit trees were struggling against the fence. So I put this 50% shade cloth around the entire veggie garden, and it's really done a great job. I could barely put my hand on that. I'd be able to put my hand on here on the cloth very easily. They started to really flourish after we put the shade cloth on.
We didn't do a lot in here really from about the end of 2017 to the start of 2022. We just focused on other areas of the property. I did have a bit of a false start with raised beds. I was going to use the old fence that was here, use those iron sheets to make raised beds, but I just couldn't get my head around it, and so we ended up using those sheets to build the roof on our pergola that we showed you in the family garden video. Eventually I think we just bit the bullet and we're like, let's just buy raised beds that we can just assemble. And so that's what we did.
Tomatoes. Look at that.
Maybe stand on that.
I knew you were going to say that.
So at the moment we've got, I think, 16 raised beds put up. We've got another 2 to complete, making it 18 raised beds that we'll have in this area of the garden. We started putting them together in, I think, January 2022. It took till about April of that year to finish making them and also filling them with soil. We had some soil delivered, and then we've been topping it up with our own compost.
Where's the good one? There you are.
With these taller raised beds, we filled them half with logs and wood material just to fill them up as much as we could, and then top them with soil. So we did that with all of our taller beds. We actually got these from Birdie. I think it's Birdie's raised beds. Or yeah. We'll put a link in the description if you're interested to look at them. I found them very easy to assemble. And I'm not being paid to say this, by the way. Very sturdy, very well designed, and so far we've had absolutely no trouble with them, other than just trying to fill them.
And I think the colour we got was slate.
One of the, you could say a mistake, but also intentional, was not to put in any irrigation, but to hand water. Over the few years, it's become quite tiresome carrying around watering cans for an hour or two, watering the whole property. And it's just a bit of an insecurity when it comes to water pressure, irrigation pumps and whatnot. And so I've just sort of put it off, but that will be something that will be taken care of probably in the next year, is putting in some irrigation to make the watering process a lot more effective and a lot more easier on our bodies and on our time. If there's anything that you would like us to make a longer video about, just let us know. If you've got any thoughts or questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like this video for more videos to come. And we'll see you in another video.
Good morning. Welcome to Dimboola Market. Come on down before you head to the footy.